Today is the feast of the presentation of the Lord. And when you think about the presentation of the Lord, you think about how long it was since the time of the prophets, the time that the prophets said that there would be the coming of the Messiah, that the Lord would send a Messiah, that he would bring back the people, that he heard their cry. So hundreds of years between the time of Simeon and Anna in the temple to the time of the prophecies that were there. And then you certainly think about the time of Simeon and Anna. You go from, the Maccabees back to the Romans. So though there was a period of self-rule, the self-rule didn't last, and now they're back under occupation by another invading country. The temple is in the process of being rebuilt. So there are a lot of different things going on. But the interesting thing is that Simeon and Anna were attuned to what was going on. And so there were a lot of different things now going on within Israel. You think about Zechariah, who was there in the temple, and he was struck deaf, struck unable to speak because he disbelieved the angel. And when he came to him in the Holy of Holies, he disbelieved that there could be a son to be born to him and his wife, because they were well beyond childbearing years. So he didn't believe it. And so, but then once they asked for the child's name, he asked for a tablet, and then all of a sudden his mouth was opened and he began to glorify God. So this happens about 6 or so months, over 6 months prior to the presentation in the temple. But when we think about the presentation, really we can think about it's really that epiphany. You certainly have the epiphany of the Magi, who are going from their distant countries, not the people you would expect, the Magi who are there coming from far distant countries to see the King of the Jews. And then who do you have among the Jews? You have the shepherds. Shepherds were really not the people who you would expect. They were kind of rough and tumble. They couldn't keep purity on the Sabbath, because if you had a shepherd, if you had a sheep, you couldn't. You had to take care of it. You had to make sure that it got food, water, that it had defenses. So there was an unusual group. And so too with Simeon and Anna, you think that again he would go to the high priest. Just like with the Magi, you would think they have gone to the people in Rome or to the philosophers in Greece, but came to the Magi. You would think that they would have gone to the high priest in Jerusalem, but instead they go to an elderly couple, the elderly people who are there in the temple praying. And so what they do is that they in turn prophesy that Simeon talks about the fact that he's the child is going to be destined for the rise and fall of many in Israel, and that a sword will pierce the mother's heart, and that Anna is talking about the prophecy that these were the people who are awaiting the redemption of Jerusalem. So again, that idea of that prophecy. And so one of the things about it is really being open and aware in our lives. Too many times we can just allow different situations and struggles and troubles and trials to get in our way, and not really thinking about the blessings that God is giving us. And then if we do think about it, do we actually give thanks to God for those blessings? And so really when we think about Simeon and Anna, they were people who the Lord had prepared for that coming of the Messiah. They were the ones who had been prepared to receive the Messiah. So we give thanks to God for that, and we ask the Lord to continue to help us, to guide us, just like Simeon and Anna, to be a people able to see with eyes of faith. Thanks. God bless.